I enjoyed the video reacting to Caleb Hammer's video from last week so much, I had to do another. And with this one, maybe it's a little bit more positive, but there's some twists and turns, and you'll just have to see for yourself.
And now living in Austin, Texas, and I am 23 years old.
So what do you do for a living currently?
Home insurance from home.
Okay, what's your job?
Oh, call center representative.
Nice. How much do you make?
15 an hour.
My day job's in the insurance world, and 15 an hour for a call center representative. I mean, maybe this is an entry level job and she's looking forward to it, but I mean, she's living in Austin. It's an expensive area.
Okay, how many hours a week do you work?
40 hours.
Okay, so making $15 an hour, you're working full time, 40 hours. Just so I don't have to do the math. Do you know how much you make on a monthly basis?
2,400
Okay, cool. Is that after taxes or before?
after tax.
It seems a little high to me just based on the math that I've ever done, in that income range. But even if she is right, it's still hard to live off of in Austin, Texas. We'll have to see what her rate is.
It's just kind of hard to live on Austin and with $2,400 a month, isn't it?
Yes, that's why I'm doing little side stuff, makeup on the side,
Okay, so lots of side hustles.
side hustles. Yeah.
She's got to be including some of those side hustles in the 2,400 on average. She's taking home a month, and it's something that maybe so with makeup, you got a reciprocal kind of relationship with the client.
If you had to guess, how much do your side hustles bring in a month?
Not that much, maybe 200, like an extra 200 a month or so.
Hey, that's not nothing. I mean, when people talk about having that second job, that second source of income, I encourage it. And a couple $100 a month, it's going to really move the needle for a lot of people, especially if you're starting at 2,400.
Looking at your checking account, I did see in the previous 30 days, you deposited a total of $2,843. Does that sound correct to you?
That sounds kind of high.
Yeah, there you go. That's a big month. I mean, this is one of those things where I think a lot of people, they round their numbers and they don't give themselves enough credit. They need to have an honest look at what their financials are.
So you spent $2,055.83.
Pretty close to all of it.
Pretty close to all of it, but you actually have $792 sitting in there at the time of this statement. But let's look into your checking account and see what you're spending money on.
Yeah, sending us their net balance at the end of their income versus expenses. They ain't got all that savings, retirement, investing. It's a lot.
How much do you think you spent in total when it came to eating out?
200.
And you think 200 is not that much if you bring in $2,400
To spend on food.
and going out to eat?
Is that a lot?
Yeah,
Is that a lot?
when it comes to the percentage of how much you bring in, that's a good amount.
I always encourage people to start with that 50-30-20 rule where 30% would be towards discretionary. And I mean, if she's single, all she has is just food and going out, then 30% seems like it fits.
So you live with your parents?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's definitely a money saver.
300 and then 246 for the car payment every week.
Man, I was so happy for her living at home, hustling, having it, but a weekly car payment. This is what's happening.
Oh, I see what you did. Okay, so we can quickly transition to your car debt then. Your primary loan of the car, essentially $15,000. And then you financed your down payment?
Oh, she can't afford this car. She had no business buying this car. If you can't save up and delay that gratification and get your down payment together, oh,
Why don't you just actually save up some money and put money down instead of financing a down payment?
I'll put more money down.
Why didn't you just put money down
I put
in general?
yeah. If you're in a situation where she can't afford this car, and she should have gotten a $2,000 beater versus a $15,000 principal loan. It's
I put 1,400 down. I could have put 2,000. I was supposed to put 2,000, but they deferred the payment of 600. So I had to pay that extra to pay that off that 600. Then it's going to be 110 a week.
Why are you doing it by week?
This is painful. When it comes to these big decisions, I see so many people in their young adult stage making just bad choices because they didn't know better. They got taken advantage of.
That's how they.
They do
That's
it.
actually better for me because then I don't know. Then it's going to be hard for me to budget. I feel like.
I see that. Sometimes it helps to, take your payment and break it down weekly, but it's also a predatory thing where their lender said, oh, well, it's not that much. when you break it up with the
You
small
do weekly
pieces.
budgets instead of monthly?
I just feel like it would just be easier for me. I don't know, because I would have to save. Well, I just have to do. I would have to save more. I would have to save like
It's easier if you are not really budgeting. If you can't have the discipline month to month to track your income and expenses, then you have no business buying this car. So
yeah, my dad was telling me I should return it, but I was like,
You should listen to your dad because where car prices are right now, it's probably not actually in the real world like a year from now worth that. It's probably going to be worth half of that in a year, 2 years from now. So
oh, man, I'm getting flustered. Flustered. This is, I gotta get my mind in the right space. Where is the dad in this? I mean, if I were him, I don't know. What you gotta do?
for a used $15,000 car, $1,000 a month, half of your income a month.
And this cars are depreciating assets. This thing's gonna go down in value, and she's dropping incredible amounts of money into it. It's just she's gotta get rid of it. She just gotta get rid of it.
For a $15,000 car. Who convinced you to do this? Did you do this on your own? Were your parents with you?
yeah, my mom was with me.
But she didn't try to talk you out of this?
This is important to know where you come from financially. I always ask people, hey, how did your parents handle money? Both sides. I want to know how both parents handle money.
No, that's the only because I can really have a good story after like my ex-husband ruined my credit. There could be a whole story about credit. If you were to pull my credit score, but it's like 18 things on my credit now.
Let's pull your credit score. Let's take a look at it.
No.
Oh my gosh, I need some. You know what I need is I need some telems after this, because even just the thought of pulling up a credit score with 18 different flags, what kind of things that she's got, I'll have to see.
Never seen a credit score in the 400s before. I mean, I knew the number existed because there's obviously numbers that exist before 500.
It's really bad.
It's actually down.
But the apartments are on there.
What about what happened to the apartments?
Ditch the lease.
Oh, oh my gosh. I mean, I'm getting heartburn. I'm going to get an ulcer from this. Ditch the lease. And she said apartments plural. Like, what's happened here?
You just got out and ran
Just like
and didn't pay?
my husband was handling everything, or my ex-husband was handling everything, and then he's like, "Oh, I can get that off your credit." And oh,
It sounded like he wasn't handling things. This is one of those things where, if you're married, you don't have to have joint finances, but you need to work together on the same page.
I feel like your car loan is like a payday loan. Like the interest has to be pure insanity. I can't see what the interest is. They probably don't want to tell you what it is on here.
This is why doing this reaction video is so important, because this is a masterclass in predatory loan practices that you want to avoid. If you can't find the interest rate, if you don't, well, so many different things.
And it's because 400 credit score, 450, you have $4,630 in collections. Did you know that?
yeah, I didn't know it was that number, but I knew it was a lot of stuff on there.
Oh my gosh. I mean, this is something where, can you imagine the kind of place that she walked into? They looked at her credit score and they looked at her history and they said, yeah, let's give you a loan.
Your Ubering of $100 a month is much more affordable than after your insane weekly down payment financing thing ends, it'll still be $440 a month for a nothing car.
And I guess it's not nothing as far as cars go, but it's still, it's tough. It is a cultural issue, I guess.
Why?
That's the only place that would accept me.
Yeah, what was it? What was the place?
It's called Dynamic Motor.
Why is collections not paid off? Why'd you get a car when you have collections? Why is collections not paid off? Why is there collections?
Yeah, man, this is one of those things where to dig into her credit and all these red flags could have taken hours to really unpack. But these things you get such a,
What is the collections for?
Apartment.
Why is this not paid off? Why have you not paid this off?
I guess would it go up if I start paying them?
Wait, would what go up? Your credit score?
Yeah, like, would it start going up if I start paying it off?
I mean, once the collections are off, yes.
It's clear that she has a sort of not self-defeating, but kind of like a, well, this is already ruined mindset for her credit score. Like it's impossible to come back.
You need to call them and negotiate this down, and you're gonna have to fight with them. How long have those collections been there? Because it doesn't say that.
Probably 2 years.
This is a great example of someone who needs a money coach. And this is something where when you just say to someone, you're going to have to call them up and you're going to have to fight them and go and just get this thing taken care of. Most people, especially if they're in this situation, they have no idea what to do. They don't know what to say. They don't know who to call. They don't know, how to negotiate when it comes to things like this. I mean, one phone call can immediately get some of these things off of her little credit score. Knowing the situation and the context and taking action, it's going to be something that immediately her score is going to start going up. And is that going to get her a replacement for this awful car situation right away? No. Should she be borrowing rides and taking Ubers around for a period of time while she gets this cleaned up? Absolutely. It's just a situation where knowing where you come from and your habits come from with money it's going to pay you huge dividends in the long run. This is just a great example of that. So if you're someone who, if you know someone in the situation, or if you are, go ahead, hit us up at our website, link below. And, we'll definitely, find some solutions for you, find you some coaching, some resources. It's going to help you avoid this situation or help you dig yourself out of a hole like this. And so if you don't mind, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. And, these reaction videos, they're spicy, but they're worth it. There's a lot we can learn from this. And I got another one for you next week.